Hello folks, my name is George Almodovar. I am a realtor and author of the No BS in Making Millions in Real Estate. Today's topic is something that is true and dear to my heart. And it bothers me, and it may sound controversial. By the way, please note that any information given on this website is for educational purposes only. It's not given legal or taxing advice. If legal or taxing advice is needed, please sort out a professional in that field that may assist you. That being stated, I'm giving my 2 cents as far as a police state. Most Americans are not aware or haven't even read the Constitution. And if they have, they don't even recall what it says. They don't even recall the Bill of Rights, the Magna Carta, and how all our rights came to be about. I heard many informations online stating, oh, well, you got to just comply with the police officer and all that. And by the way, I'm not saying for you not to. Okay, if a cop tells you to step out the vehicle, I will personally state I do not consent to any illegal searches and seizures. However, that being stated, if you don't step out the car, and it's evident from many videos you can see on YouTube, you will see that cops are actually either beating you up, pulling you, dragging you out the car, and God forbid, even worse, even shooting you. Okay, now people forget about how they got the authority. Their authority, by the way, is unconstitutional because police officers or deputies supposed to have been peace officers. And peace officers, according to the Constitution, are not supposed to detain you unless you have committed a crime, not suspicion, a crime, and there has to be a sworn affidavit filed in court from a witness who cannot, by the way, be affiliated with the state. In other words, it cannot be a cop. A cop cannot be a witness into himself, okay, because that's a conflict of interest, okay. Another thing, that's a violation of due process of law and separations of powers. See, in order for a cop technically to pull you over, there's supposed to be a sworn affidavit filed in court, supposed to go in front of a grand jury of 25 people who look at the credibility of the claim and then present that to a magistrate or a judge, and then a judge specify whether it's going to be a specified warrant, not a general warrant. It specifies what is to be searched, seized, or detained. Obviously, we all know that doesn't happen anymore. The states have to generate revenues, which, by the way, if we consider technically according to the Constitution, it is illegal. It's fraud. However, they have to generate revenues, and at the same time, we can't have people driving 150 miles an hour and go killing somebody or a family member. So I do understand that. But the fact of the matter is that according to the Constitution, they're supposed to obtain a specified warrant. This is the same reason why America in the Revolution revolted. If you remember King George III, okay, he was taxing the people without representation, which many remember or recall the Boston Tea Party, the Stamp Act. However, the fact of the matter was that King George, because of previous war, including the war with France, they got themselves in a lot of debt. Maybe even you want to research the Rothschilds. Got themselves in a lot of debt to the point that they couldn't pay the debts off, so they had to implement all these taxes to the point that they wasn't even given any more specified warrants. They were just giving general warrants where the soldiers will go actually into your house. There was a lot of reports where they will rape your wives, take your kids, steal your stuff, even kill you. And that's what led to the American Revolution. Well, the fact of the matter is, if you look around today, you may be working, you may be too busy and not aware of what's going on. But a police officer, and it's not a coincidence, and not all police officers are bad. But remember, they have to follow certain orders. Police officers are breaking into people's property without a warrant. Police officers are pulling people over, dragging them out the car, telling you to get out the car when you have not committed a crime. Keep in mind that an infraction is not a crime. A crime is a trespass, a violation against someone else's sovereignty or rights to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Okay, that is a crime, not an infraction. In fact, it states very clearly, and it has been ruled in the Supreme Court, that if someone or any state makes a law or statute that is contrary to the constitutional rights, it becomes null and void. Now, most people are not aware, again, of the Bill of Rights. They do not understand that the police power is a temporarily just authority, not absolute. There is a difference between absolute and justice, just authority, temporarily, by the consent of we the people. Now, I assure you that most people do not consent to be dragged out the car, especially if you have not committed a crime. Okay, so this is getting out of hand, and we as Americans need to stand up. I don't advocate violence. However, things are getting out of hand, and it may lead to revolution. Me personally, my opinion, my 2 cents, most of the worlds are ruled by the same people. We think that we have separate governments, and we don't. It's corporate interests running America, and this is why our rights are being violated. It's not a rare coincidence that these cops are abusing their authority. Okay, and I'm going to give you something for you to remember. The Declaration of Independence. We hold this truth to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, government are instituted among men, deriving the just powers from the consent of the governed. Notice, unalienable. Unalienable rights is God-given rights, natural rights. They cannot be taken away because you cannot consent them or give them away because they're not yours to give. They're God-given. They're natural rights, natural laws. All men are created equal. Why is it that cops have this extra power? They could arrest you or kidnap you, hurt you, injure you. When you go to court, it's hard even to win. It's hard even to present the court. You got to have the funds. You got to have an attorney that's willing to go all the way, because they don't want to go against the courts because they are agents of the court. Okay, and they have an association to the Bar Association. They have a membership, not a license, a membership to the Bar Association, which is British accredited registry. It's not even America. We are no longer under common law jurisdiction, where you're innocent until proven guilty. We are under admiralty jurisdiction. This is why you get a ticket, you appear by special appearance to court. What happens? You're guilty until proven innocent. They don't even give you a right to a fair trial or a trial by jury of your peers, which is unconstitutional. Anytime someone's going to charge you $20 or more, according to the Constitution, you have a right to a trial by jury of your peers. This doesn't happen no more. The judge, this is a violation of separations of power. The judge is looking out for police officer because police officers are generating funds for the state. Why would they go against police officer? That keeps the court in business. This is the problem. This is a conflict of interest. Who does the judge work for? Doesn't he work for the state? Who does a cop work for? Doesn't he work for the state? This is a violation of your due process. Okay? It's no longer whether it's right or wrong. It's whether who has the most money could defend himself and make a nice show for the courts. Okay? Your rights are not being protected. Read your constitutional rights or your Bill of Rights. Read the Constitution. And you're going to see that we are way off target. And it's getting worse. And it scares me. Granted, I got to keep moving forward, keep running my business, my property. I have to be optimistic about the future. But I see what's going on. Maybe you should too. Go do some research. Go online. Look at YouTube. Look how people's rights are being violated. This is not about white and black. Some people, they might try to make it that way because they see African Americans getting injured or getting shot at. This is BS. They want to divide and conquer. So you do not become aware of what's going on. You have sovereignty. Okay? Look up the word and the meaning of sovereignty. Alright? The only way you waive your sovereignty is when you trespass against someone else's right to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Otherwise, you have powers just like a king does. This is why we revolted against the King George III. This is when we got our declaration, when we made the Declaration of Independence and got our freedom. Are you a free man anymore? Who do you vote for? Are you even really voting? Regardless whether you're Democratic or Republican? It doesn't matter the party you're in. It doesn't. It's corporate interests running America. Yeah, there are some politicians that are aware of this and they have tried. But honestly, we have corporate companies, not even sometimes companies that are not even American, running this nation. This has to be stopped. Again, I do not advocate violence. But what other option is there? We got to find out what options we have available. Because picketing, what's that going to do? They laughed at you. I mean, I don't know. We have to stand up for our rights because it's really getting really bad. I hope this gets you thinking. I hope this gets you as an American to read the Constitution of the United States of America, to read your Bill of Rights, because remember, that is your duty as an American citizen. Because someday you may be a juror and you need to be aware of the rights. You need to be aware what is a grand jury of 25 people. Not 10, not 15, not 12, but 25. You need to be aware of how you consent. If you have not consent, then you have not given authority for any cop to illegally search you. Yeah, this is being violated. And if you take it into court, you think you're going to win? The judge is going to just dismiss it or overrule or hold you in contempt of court. This is unconstitutional, folks. We need to stand up for our rights. We need to educate people. We need to become informed. I hope this helped. Thank you. Have a blessed day.